What's up, everybody? This is Mike Bird, and you are listening to another episode of The Sticky Side. My partner in crime, Mr. Rob Chismark. How you doing, man? What's going on?
Man, living life. Just started a new job.
Yeah,
So, got a pretty cool job, project manager building gas stations all over the Midwest. So,
gas station. What kind of gas stations?
oh man, all there's Hy-Vee, there's Quickstar, there's QT, there's BP, just lots of them.
Oh, so
Lots of
just
them.
not one company in particular, just like a bunch of them.
No, no, no. We're the complete solution is what the company I work for is called. Seneca Companies.
Yeah,
Complete solution. I get to be a project manager. I really don't do a lot of work. It's all behind a computer, so I'm happy about that as well, by the way.
all behind a computer. Man, I'm so sick of working
Yeah.
behind a computer. I feel like I'm wasting
Yeah, well,
away here,
I
but
just started. I just started.
yeah. Well,
Okay.
let's. What was that before I get going?
Mm,
You're
I just started. Don't ruin it for me.
so you pounding a beer over there? Jeez,
A root, an
root beer.
A&W, zero sugar root beer.
I used to drink those when I was a kid when all the adults were drinking real beer. So I was thinking
Yeah,
that
you
I was
thought you were
cool.
something,
Yeah,
huh?
I was
You
drinking the root.
were.
Well, hey man, let's without further ado, let's welcome our guest. We got Mr. Kyle Mayday Malone. Took down his first singles win in a big event at the ACL shootout this weekend. What's going on, Kyle? How you doing, man?
What's up, guys? Thank you for having me. Doing good, feeling good.
Yeah, man, no problem. Thanks for coming on the show.
Yeah,
Uh,
of course.
Short notice, by the way. Real short notice.
yeah,
Yeah, I appreciate
Mike,
that.
you hit me up today around 2:30, and you were like, I guess it was 3:30 your time. You said,
yeah.
"Hey man, I'm free if you can find someone." And I just started going. I didn't. I only had one guest in mind, and
Yeah.
that was the shootout winner. I was like, "Hell yeah, we can get Kyle on." And Kyle's always fun, man. Kyle and me, we got a lot of history. Dates
Yeah, we've known
back
each
to
other a long time.
Yeah.
yeah. I met you in March of 2016. Do you remember that crew tournament on the beach that Ryan Johnson and me put together? Where
I do.
everybody came up. Remember, it was like, I mean, the conditions were what it used to be, Kyle. The conditions were what it
Yeah,
used to be. And it
they
was
were.
fun. And it was the first day I met you. You were the reigning Florida State champion for the ACO. And
Mhm.
I'm not gonna lie, you were a young kid, but I was like starstruck. I was like, man, this dude is that good, and I couldn't wait to see you play. And I mean, you were that good. There was no doubt about it. You were damn good.
Well, look at Kyle, man. He looks the same he did in 2013,
Yeah,
2014. He hasn't changed.
yeah,
You look the
I
same.
made
Look,
that's
myself.
true.
I'm sitting over here with gray hair and all this other crap. I don't look like I did back then. Because I remember
Well,
meeting
he
Kyle back in Florida at an event, at an ACO event. And, man, you were top dog back then, too. One of the top dogs in Florida. So, yeah.
Yeah, Florida's been. I've done well in the state,
Hmm.
but outside of the state is where I was struggling to keep consistent.
Yeah. What
I
would you.
mean, I was just gonna say you got those couple of doubles national wins, but I guess one of them came in Florida, didn't it?
Yeah, actually, yeah, yeah, two of them did. Two
Oh,
of them did.
wow.
The other two were Pennsylvania and man, where was that other one? It was only three. Yeah, it was only three. You're right, only three.
There you go.
Yep, it was
I
two in
like it.
Florida.
Yeah, you're getting old. Sometimes you got to jog that memory the older you get, man. Starts to go. Starts to go. So tell us, man. I mean, we know how long you've been playing. Me and Rob, we've known you for years, probably almost a decade. I don't know. You've been playing since 2012. Were you play ACO around then?
2013. My first Worlds was 2014. The
Oh,
next year.
okay. So over a decade, or just a decade. But how about these people that don't know you? Like, how'd you get your start? Where'd you throw your first bag? What got you into this?
So I started at this local bar called Champs that me and my mom had went to for lunch all the time. Um, we ended up going there for dinner on a Wednesday night. They were having cornhole, and I said, "Hey, I want to try that. It looks fun." And she said, "Well, I'll bring you back Friday because you got school tomorrow." I was still a I was still a senior, and I was 16, or I was a junior, 16, and she brought me back that Friday, and I played for about a month or two before I really, talked to anybody that was any good there. And I mean, after a couple months, I got better and better. Got tired of getting beat, really,
Mm.
and went home, practiced. Mom got me a set of boards for Christmas, and 3 months in, somebody asked me to go play a big tournament with them, and then it was kind of just an addiction from there.
How'd you do in that
Was there
tournament?
anybody good?
Do you remember?
I played with a guy named Sean Albright. Rob knows him,
hmm
uh,
hmm
and we actually ended up not doing well in rounders, and we ended up in the lower bracket, but we won the lower bracket. So, first
Mm-hmm.
tournament, even though it was competitive, technically, still won it. So that was good.
You got the big
What
dub.
was what was Trey, about 8 then?
Yeah, something like that, right around.
Mike, you probably remember Trey Albright. Sean Albright is Trey's dad. Do you remember Trey?
Yeah,
He was a top junior during your time in the ACO.
yeah, I believe
Yep.
so. Yeah, I mean
I
the
still
name
talk to
sounds
Trey
familiar.
now and again, actually.
Yeah. What was that, Kyle?
I still talk to Trey every now and again, actually.
No.
Me too.
So tell us about this past weekend, man. Arizona. You fly over there. You got a little time difference. What's it, Rob? Is it 2 hours time difference? So you got to adjust to that.
Yeah.
And you go. And how did the event start out for you? Do you remember? Like, can you break down your tournament for us?
So, fun fact, I don't know if anybody knew this or not, but out there out west, they don't have time change. So when we have time change here, it actually goes back and forth between 2 and 3 hours,
Mm-hmm.
depending. I didn't know that until this past weekend. So anybody didn't know that,
Nice.
there you go. But it was
Yeah.
good. The time change definitely affects things. In my mind, I definitely feel tired earlier in the day, and I end up waking up earlier for some reason. But yeah, it was a good time. I spent some time with my dad out there.
Wow.
He lives there, so shout out to him for letting me stay. That was cool.
Yeah.
D boy too, Daniel Martinez let me chill with him all weekend, and being my +1 as well. But yeah, it was a good time. I met some cool people. Um, all the ACL guys are obviously, we're all good friends. That was cool hanging out with everybody.
Tell us about your
So,
games.
well, Mike, it was a little different. So
Mm-hmm.
what they did was they worked the shootout from one of the opens. I can't remember
It was
which one
Myrtle
it was.
Beach. We
Yeah,
played
so the
Myrtle
Myrtle
Beach.
Beach,
Yeah.
they played it all the way down to the finals there,
Uh-huh.
and then all that went out there to Arizona were all the finalists. So Kyle went out there. He knew he was playing Jamie. That was the question I wanted to ask you was, did you worry about the layoff? Because you were hotter than heck in Myrtle Beach. You were slinging everything. And were you worried about the layoff at all?
I actually spoke with Anthony Ione, and he'll tell you in Myrtle Beach, he and Jeff McCarriger, they both came to me and said, "Hey, what do you think about having to play somewhere else? In about a month and a half later, are you worried? I mean, what if you're not throwing as good?" And I told him, I actually looked at Anthony and said, "Well, my game plan was I'm going to beat him today or I'm going to beat him in February. It doesn't matter to me. As long as I keep doing what I'm doing and I keep playing how I'm playing, practicing how I am, doing the same thing, I'll be ready." I mean, and I was ready. I felt, even though I gave up the 5 the second round to tie the game back up, I didn't feel any nerves. Um, it was, I felt really good. I was confident going into it, and that's a big part of this game too, is confidence. So
Yep.
For sure.
Yeah, so explain it to me again, because I am not following. I didn't go to the shootout in Myrtle Beach. So what you're saying is they played the bracket all the way to the finals in Myrtle Beach, and then they did the main stuff in Arizona.
Yeah,
yes,
The,
just all the finalists went out to Arizona. So Kyle and Jamie, it
uh-huh.
was Cheyenne and Rosie, and then it was a doubles team of Ryan Wiedenfield and Ryan Smith, and I don't know who they played. Who they played? Damon
And
and Damon and Jimmy.
hmm
Okay,
yep.
Mm.
so that's all. Those are the people that went out there, and they.
And it was for the how they do the Super Hole on the same
Yeah,
weekend as the Super Bowl. They did the Super Hole out there too,
right.
the first one. So
Who'd you get to play with?
they only took four of us, and
Okay,
they didn't. I believe they didn't take Wiedenfeld. He said because he was too young. But they took Cheyenne anyway because they wanted to have a woman involved as well,
I
regardless.
got you.
But they used three of the doubles players because they
Okay.
didn't want to mess me and Jamie up, I guess, for singles right
Mm.
before. You
Oh,
know,
that's
because
right. They did it right before. That's right.
one of us played two games on the same side of the board. It might would have messed us up, you know, something like that. So they used the doubles
Yeah,
players.
gotcha.
Who were the celebrities they had playing?
It was Tyler Lockett with the Seattle Seahawks. It was Jock Peterson, Justin Turner with the Boston Red Sox and the World Series Dodgers. And I believe Jock played for the Atlanta Braves last year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Ryan Fitzpatrick. I like him doing
Yeah,
Beard.
commentary on
he was
football.
actually
Yeah.
really cool. He's actually a guy I wouldn't mind going and hanging out with.
Yeah, he might be competing with Rob with that beard too.
Oh
Come
yeah.
on, man. Why
Uh,
you just do things to try to hurt people's
uh,
feelings, man. You're just
Ryan Fitzpatrick's got a man's beard, son. Oh, you got a man's
no. He's
beard
just
too.
got a beard.
Yeah. All right, so tell us, Kyle. So you're waiting, man. You're waiting. When was the Myrtle Beach? When was that? Like a couple of weeks ago?
No, it
New
was New
Year.
Year.
New Year's. So you're waiting a whole month and some change to
Month
do
and a
this. So how did you
5 weeks.
spend five? How did you spend that 5 weeks? I mean, just
Uh,
doing your regular
well,
prep. You're
right after I got back from Myrtle Beach, I took the week. I took a couple days off right after, and then I went right back to work on that Wednesday, and then went to conference on Friday. So, and I went to conference. I won conference, and then I came back home and I got a sinus infection.
Nice.
So about a month before the tournament, I catch a really bad sinus infection. I get rid of it within a day and a half. I think I'm okay. And then I woke up at 4 o'clock one morning and the whole room was spinning. And I got out of bed, went to the bathroom, got sick. Man, I had a really bad infection in my stomach from the drainage. So I was sick for about a week and a half. Um, and then my grandma got sick. So I was trying to,
mm-hmm.
help her with getting her some medicine and stuff. And so I took almost 2 weeks off right after that. So I was afraid, I wasn't going to
Wow.
be able to get, the practice and the good time in that I needed. And I had 2 weeks.
Mm.
So I took every day and worked and worked and worked and worked and worked. And I really took advantage of that 2 weeks and, made it worthwhile.
Well, it didn't bother you too bad because I mean you pulled it off and got the big dub. But how'd you feel about that format? Did you like it? Do you want is the ACL going to stay with that, Rob?
Yeah, according to what they're doing now, that's exactly how they're going to do the rest of them because they've got these new formats of in-game interviews and timeouts in the middle of games and just crazy stuff now for TV that they're doing. They're adding to the game. That's just kind of, I mean, how was that, Kyle? How was that new format? Like Mike asked.
Um, it's not bad. Um, it's going to be interesting to see how the mid-game interviews affect players when the game is close. The game we had out there was a little one-sided, sorry Damon, sorry Jimmy, but when the timeout was there, it was, a 7-point lead. So,
Wow.
and that's with, 5 rounds left. It's a big gap when a five round limit. And
Yeah.
it'll be interesting to see like if it's tied, like 7-7, 8-7, like it was with me and Jamie. If one of us had to go off stage to do an interview, we didn't have to.
Mm-hmm.
So it would have been interesting because our game was so close, how it would have affected one of us to do that. But fortunately for me, we didn't have to. So,
Well,
But we
cornhole.
are going to do that for the Nationals, so it will be interesting to see.
I mean, I'll never get to that stage to play like that, but it would bother me, if especially if I'm down and I'm trying to get in my head because cornhole is such a mental game. If you're like focusing and you're like trying to get your mind back into the game and trying to find a rhythm, and then all of a sudden, boom, you got to do a mid-game interview and tell somebody, this is what I plan on
Yep.
doing. You got to refocus and stuff. It seemed like it would mess with the players. What do you think, Rob?
I would think that it would. I don't know who it would give an advantage or disadvantage to, but I think it would kind of mess your rhythm up a little bit.
Yeah.
But
Um,
I
I
mean,
I will say that the obvious thing is that it will affect the person that has the momentum.
Hmm.
It will,
yeah,
100%. There's no doubt about it.
So if you're
So it's interesting
down,
to see how the players are going to react afterwards. Are they going to be able to get back in the game? Are they going to be able to get back focused? Or,
yeah,
you know,
if you're down 7, that mid-game timeout could be perfect for you. Because
exactly.
it might throw the momentum off on the other guys, and you could come back. So I mean, I guess it's just something that the ACL's trying out because the game is still, a child, still in its infancy, and trying different things and just seeing what works. Who
and
knows?
they're not allowing practice throughout those commercial breaks either. They're not going to be allowing any kind of down and back, nothing. So if
I
you're
heard that
sitting for
from
2 minutes waiting, the score's 5-1 or whatever, and you're sitting for 2 minutes waiting, what what is that going to do to you? There's it's crazy. So
I
that's what they're going
mean,
to do for the Nationals for sure.
yeah, and it's a whole 3 minutes too. It's not just it's not just 30 seconds, 1 minute. You got to step off stage. It's a whole commercial break. So you got 3 minutes to, and you can't throw it. I've actually made a joke. We have a pro group, and he posted that
Gonna get
rule
a step out.
about
Jamie's
or the
allowed to
thing
step up
about the
to
mid
3
game
feet.
breaks, and I made a joke in the comments and said, "Can we get a down and back at least?" with a laughing emoji, and Josh Keck straight up said, "Nope." So, oh no, I was joking. I didn't know we really didn't get it. I know we didn't really get one.
Yeah.
Man,
So it was. Let's see. I'm watching the match right now. I think this is when you first scored. You got a big 5 in round 2. Jamie threw one off the board, and you ended up getting 5 on that. It was a 10-on-5. What was going through your mind when you hit that?
well, I didn't expect it. Um, that's for sure. Um, the only thing I can take away from that round is two things. That first round showed me how he was feeling. Um, the first bag that he threw, it didn't spin as much as a Jamie Graham bag spins, and it looked forced to the hole, and it actually stuck on the left side. It was close enough; it still fell in, but that first bag showed me that he had some nerves,
Mm.
and you don't really see nerves from Jamie that often, which is probably why I noticed it. But another part of that is when there was a point in that first round where in my backswing the bags were falling, and I didn't stop, but I still made the shot, pushed them left, stayed exactly where I wanted to. So that showed me that I was locked into that wasn't, nothing was going to distract me, nothing was going to bother me.
Well,
So I rode that first round all the way the rest of the game.
well, you were definitely locked in because I believe it was round 8. It was 7-7, and Jamie's got one at the probably 10 o'clock position, and you've got the whole clock. You've got 2 on the right side, plus you've got 1 on the left side at the bottom, and Jamie's got one of his bags kind of at 6 o'clock on top of yours, and
Mm-hmm.
you threw one that I swear you almost took them all, but it ended up
Mm-hmm.
hanging them up, and Jamie was like, "I'm not throwing the bag. I'm just gonna give you one." You could just
Yeah.
tell by the way that bag hit, man, that you were locked in. You were hitting your spots.
Yeah, honestly, my whole thought process, I have to give all the credit though to the third bag, that I threw. I thought about it for a second, and if I went straight up the gut, I had a chance of bunching up next to my other ones and possibly giving up even more. So I stepped out, and I knew those bags were hanging enough. As long as I didn't touch them, they wouldn't move any farther. I threw slick side. and wedged it in there. So knowing that bag was on slick side, I knew it would go first.
Mm-hmm.
So my airmail had to be a little short on top of that because I had a big backboard in the back. So yeah, I got fortunate that it fell and the other one sunk in there.
Yeah, it's a whole different
Things
level. Whole different level of throwing right there, man. And your
give
bag
all the
is,
credit to that third bag.
yeah, and your bag is so flat when it goes through the air. I have to tell you that. I admire that. I mean, it's so. They showed the slow motion of it, and that damn thing is just like a flying saucer. You know.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
I worked hard on it.
Well, after like 10 years of throwing, right, it should be okay. Well, I can't say that because I've been throwing for that long too, and mine still sucks. It's still diving. Yeah. Yeah.
Now, Kyle, you've been through 3 different bag companies over the last 3 years. Is that accurate?
Yes. Yep.
And I mean, you and Dalton were probably the catalyst of what put kill shots on the map. It wasn't so incredible a sure shot, but now you're back to an old standard bag. You're back to the Reynolds bag. How good does that feel to you? Because I know that was the bag you loved from day one. So how does it feel to you to be back in a Reynolds bag and tossing for Jeff?
I kind of feel at home there. You know what I mean? I've known Jeff, like you said, for 9, 10 years now, and I mean it feels like home. You know what I mean? Like I used to throw him, even though I'm throwing one of his newer series bags. You know, I know that I can call Jeff anytime I want to and literally talk about anything, and he's gonna help me out whenever I need. He's done so much for me. I would not I would not recommend any bag unless I didn't like him. And personally, he's done a really really great job with these, and I can't thank him enough for everything. So I feel really comfortable there. Yeah, it feels like home.
What series are you throwing this year?
Hurricanes. They're a combo of a couple of the older bags. They have that Typhoon sticky side on them, which everybody loves, but they have that Pro Advantage slick side on them that everybody
Oh,
used to love back in the day. It was a controllable slick side. You could throw it as hard as you wanted, or you could throw it light and it would still get there. Perfect speed on a slick side, and I love them.
perfect.
Cool. Hey, I know you watched the game last night, right?
Yep. Yeah, I did.
Who'd you have going in that?
Oh, I didn't have the score that high, and I had the Eagles winning, so I was dead wrong.
Oh, you were off, man. And,
Um,
it was one of the better Super Bowls, but God, man, to have it end in a call like that, it's just kind of sad to me. And I've listened to, I know I'm getting off topic of cornhole here, but damn, I just got to talk about the Super Bowl for a minute. That shit, to have a game like that be called on that fake phantom holding when they've been holding all game and they haven't been calling it, it was crazy to me.
It was
yeah,
crazy. It was even crazier that that ball was so well overthrown that there was no way, whether he was held or not, that he was ever getting to that ball.
Yeah, they said that. That's
So,
what Shannon Sharp said today on Undisputed. He was like, even if he missed, even if it was, he'd never had a chance to catch it.
right.
and honestly, I mean, honestly, the clock was going to run down anyway. You know what I mean? They were going to kick a field goal regardless. They didn't score the touchdown,
No, they were
so
going to kick a field goal, but they were going to leave a lot more on the clock because
Mm-hmm.
that was third down.
yeah,
That
exactly.
was third down and was incomplete. So the clock was going to. So it was just a huge momentum swing. Jalen would have gotten another chance at least to make
Yeah,
it a little more exciting, but it is what it is. I mean,
yeah.
Yeah,
He,
there's refs for a reason. That's the
I
other
think the
team
real,
on the field.
I think the real MVP of that game is Jalen Hurts. If you want my honest
Wow.
opinion,
Yeah, without
God,
a doubt.
man, he threw for over 300 yards. You know, threw
Rushed
for
for
what, two
Mm,
yeah,
touchdowns? Yeah, Rushford. Yeah, he's the
yeah.
real MVP of that game. I mean, if the Eagles win, he's obviously the MVP.
oh yeah,
Yeah,
that
no
was.
doubt.
He should have. Everybody's saying it too that he outplayed Patrick Mahomes last night,
He did.
and should have been the losing MVP quarterback of the game.
And
But
in the, second quarter, I believe it was late in the second quarter, 4th and 5, and he runs for 30 yards almost.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
28 yards on that. That was stupid.
To me, I thought the Eagles were winning at that point. There was no stopping that man. But man, Pat Mahomes on one leg.
He brought him through.
he's
crazy,
still,
man.
Brought him through.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Well, I mean, maybe you'll see, I don't know, pro shootout, freaking Jalen Hurts. Maybe he can come get him a pro shootout win one day.
Little Super Bowl with Jalen Hurts.
Little Super Bowl,
He'll be the MVP.
Yeah.
That would be sweet.
Yeah. So what's next around the corner for you, Kyle?
We got the Winter Haven open in a couple weeks, but man, I've been working so hard up into the last shootout. I think I'm gonna take maybe a little break. I know I got a regional or something on a Sunday, but I think that's all I'm gonna do. I'll still practice, during the week. I'll still, for like an hour or two, but I think I'm gonna rest and enjoy this victory. Like I said, I can sit out the rest of the summer until September. So
that must be nice, right?
Are you and Jimmy gonna go do some doubles, or what? How's it gonna work for you?
Yeah, we'll go do some doubles. I'm not necessarily gonna go like back-to-back weekends if it's super far away. I do have my daughter half the time. My son's coming down from Illinois in the spring, so on spring break. So I'm gonna kind of I'm gonna spend some time with them and enjoy it while I can, and then until national season gets here. I'll still go to I think I'm gonna go to 3 more shootouts at least. But I plan on going to three more.
So what happens there, Rob, if a shootout winner wins another shootout?
They don't play singles. You can't play singles again.
Okay.
Nah, you can only win You can only win doubles.
Okay.
Yep, that's why I said I can sit out the rest of the summer and watch everybody else qualify.
Gotcha. So I mean, it's cool to get it done early, man. Now you can just sit back and chill.
Yeah. With the national season being moved all the way back to April, did that change any of your preparation, your schedule throughout the year?
No. As far as I see it, I just have more time to train and prepare. It's going to be an interesting national season. I know there's only 256 of us, and those brackets are loaded. You're playing a hitter every single game. So, and this year, it gets tougher and tougher every year. So I'm gonna be taking some of that time and getting ready for it. Closer to April.
Yeah.
Do you now there's something I wanted to see if you wanted to address. Last year you lost. Did you lose 1 or 2 nationals from last year?
What do you mean?
With the happenings that went on with life and where you were not allowed to go to Worlds or whatever.
Oh yeah. I did serve a suspension. I got in some trouble. We don't have to talk about all that.
No, what I want to know is how did that motivate you for the new season? Did you feel slighted? Did you feel like it was too much of a suspension? And did it motivate you for this next year? Obviously, you came out and won the first shootout, and I'm real interested to see how you do in the first national. But did it motivate you to practice more, practice less? How did you feel when you were going through that?
Well, for starters, I don't blame the ACL on their decision. Regardless, if any of you guys are watching this, I appreciate you guys letting me back in. Everything you guys have done for me over the last few months. Thank you. I really appreciate it. And I don't blame you guys whatsoever. I served it. I ate it. And yeah, it motivated me. It did. I watched Worlds, the whole thing on my phone. And man, I was dying inside because I was at 14th, and I had a shot to break that top 8 and be able to go to Airmail City and, do all that. And I messed up. I did something stupid I shouldn't have done. And, it motivated me to just be a better person more than it did a better cornhole player. The motivation from cornhole really just came from man, I'm just so tired of people like only realizing me for doubles. You know what I mean? It's a kick in the balls to be the best doubles player. You know what I mean? I want to be the best player.
Yeah.
That's good.
Is that what you're known for, being the best doubles player? I don't know. I guess I've been under a rock somewhere. So.
Yeah. I mean, three doubles nationals.
Yeah.
2 of them with Dalton McClem. One is a rookie. One in his first real year, and then you know Cody was a rookie when we won. Kind of like the first person, I believe, to play with the rookie and win that many nationals. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah,
Cody's a hell of a rookie, though. So is Dalton. Both those guys are. when you're a killer from Florida, to call yourself a rookie is kind of crazy.
I had a good eye for those two.
Yeah, for sure.
Rob,
who's Cody playing with this year?
Mike Ferreira. That's actually they're a good team. We played them at conference. Me and John Hunn, Bo, Bo, and they played really well. They got second overall, won the bracket. They're playing well. I look forward to make a couple of deep runs at nationals this year.
Oh yeah, you and Jimmy are going to be a hell of a team.
Yep, I hope so. I hope we can do something on the double side. We're trying to still, work out the chemistry a little bit. It's getting there. There's a couple of shots here and there that we kind of have to work on together, and how we explain stuff to each other on each end, and we're knowing what the other person can do, I should say. A couple of things there we gotta work on, but we're consistent. Third, fourth at not nationals, opens. We went 3-1 in Myrtle Beach in doubles. It's not too bad, considering.
What do you feel is what was holding you back before this past weekend? Was it mental? Was it technique? Like what do you think was holding you back?
Myself.
Yeah.
Really, it was just myself. Last year I wasn't practicing really at all. I was playing two nights a week and wasn't practicing. It was a consistency thing. I won the first national with Cody, and then I was sitting in the king seat of my singles bracket in Atlantic City, got double dipped. I should have finished up there, I felt like. So I've gotten second a lot in singles at national events, whether it's second in my bracket or, whatever it is. And I was that way for a while with conferences too. And when I finally won that first conference, I didn't really lose another one after that till after I won the fifth one. And I'm hoping it stays that way with nationals too. I finally hope I broke the ice and, I'm past all that.
Oh, I think you are, man. Taking down Big Jamie. I mean, Jamie, Jamie Graham. He's been on TV. I don't even know, man. Has he been on TV the most out of any cornhole player so far? You think, Rob?
He's tied for the most ACL titles with Matt Guy.
With Matt Guy?
Yeah, so if he would have won this last weekend, he would have been the winningest player in cornhole.
Wow. That's crazy. Especially
and I told him, there's literally nobody else I'd rather play here.
Yeah.
We both have everything to gain and we both have everything to lose here. I love it.
I mean,
that's my first singles title, and he's going for the winningest player.
Yeah, and you beat the winningest player. Yeah, what a win, man! What a win.
Good luck next shootout, Jamie.
Yeah,
I'll be watching.
I told Trey Ryder that Jamie was more than likely going to win the next one, and I'm going to end up playing him in the finals of the shootout finals because of how the seeding works.
So, yeah, because you'll be at the top and the bottom of the bracket. That'll be awesome.
Could be a rematch for 40K. You never know.
That'd be awesome.
Talk about nerves. My God, I can't even imagine that. I'd be falling to pieces. Somebody get a defibrillator ready, because I'm going to need it.
Defibrillator.
Defibrillator. Oh my God, I can't even blame that one on alcohol. I'm drinking water.
No, you got to blame it on the 40K.
Yeah.
You heard 40K. You just went, yeah, I like it.
Yeah. Oh
Man.
snap. Yeah. So Kyle, man, you got anything you want to plug? Who's your sponsor? Who's running with you?
Oh yeah. Let's get to that. I've already talked about Jeff. I can't say enough about him though. I mean, he's a heck of a guy. He's a great friend of mine, and I know he's happy about this last weekend. So saying thank you, Jeff Reynolds, for everything you've done for me, everything you're doing for Jimmy as well, my partner. We're very grateful for you. Sparky, my man, Spark Apparel, right here, got the best merch in the game too. Y'all go check it out. You actually only got a couple hours. Use code Mayday, get you 25% off.
Mayday.
Bag Life, Dave Joyner, Jason Palmer, you guys are awesome too. You guys have helped me a lot this year. You guys are some great people, great friends of mine. I love y'all. Thank you. And Brunt Workwear, y'all are awesome. If you're a contractor working construction and you need some clothing, boots, whatever, go hit them up. Go check them out. I've shared their posts a couple times. Thank you. I can't say it enough for you guys. You guys make it all possible.
Cool. Sweet. Rob, you got anything else?
I got this one story from way back in the day.
Oh yeah.
Kyle Malone. He was the first double sponsored athlete from when I was in my infancy of sponsoring players. He was with a company called Cornstar Boards and my construction company at the same time. So it was way back when sponsorship wasn't even that cool, but he was like I told you, I was impressed with him, and he was a pretty cool cat, and he didn't talk like all the rest of the people. He was nothing like Trey Albright. So it was
don't
fun.
do my man Trey like that.
It was fun having Kyle.
Man.
I know. I couldn't sponsor him, even though he was on the other end of the boards with you, because I just couldn't imagine him saying the wrong thing at the wrong time.
Oh man.
So yeah, that's just one of the fun stories that, like when we opened the show, and I told you that I've known Kyle for a long time. It's just we've been through a lot together. There was a time where we used to travel so much together that I would call him my stepson. So
Yep.
it was fun. It was just a good time, good memories.
Yep, I miss those
Appreciate
days,
you.
man.
Oh, no
Yes,
doubt.
sir. Thank you for everything too in the beginning, and always being in my corner, Rob. You've always been in my corner. And I've always been in yours.
For sure.
I feel like y'all need to give each other a hug. I'm feeling left out over
we're
here.
far away, man. We're so far away from
a little virtual hug here.
a little virtual hug.
Hey, well, Kyle, man,
Yeah.
we appreciate you taking the time out. I know you got about to play in a cornhole tournament over there, and doing our show. Good luck in the future, and hopefully I'll see you down the road. Why don't you just come over and play in one of Triangle Cornhole's regionals one weekend? I got a big one this weekend. Come on up, man. It's like a 8-hour drive.
Yeah, hey,
It'll be fun.
maybe next month. Maybe next month I'll get up.
March 18th, 19th.
March 18th. Okay.
We'll roll the red carpet. All right.
See what I got going.
That'll work, man. I mean, I think Tyler Porthos is playing this weekend, and maybe Frank Modlin. So we got a few pros that come play up here. So we welcome him with open arms.
I might drive up and hang out, man.
Yeah,
it's only
come
8
on.
hours.
You too, Rob.
Come
on.
All right.
I like it. I appreciate it.
You got something, Rob? I heard you saying something.
No, I'm good. I'm just saying I appreciate it.
Okay. All right. Well, this has been The Sticky Side. I want to thank you all for listening. Don't forget, like and subscribe if you like what you're hearing. Hit that subscribe button to the Naughty Donkey channel. And for all you cornhole players in the Triangle area, check it out. This weekend, we've got Triangle Cornhole at the Strike and Barrel. We got open, singles, blind draw, and doubles this Saturday. So come on out and see us. Until then, throw them straight. See ya.
Oh, just wanna be cornhole stars saying people seldom driving beat up cars. The crowd gets crazy and the beers ain't cheap. We get drunk all day, so we just don't eat and we Hang out at the local bar, throwing bags in the hole like we have radar.